We are live here on this Saturday morning, a couple minutes late. I gotta start setting these a little bit later than 8:45 because I tend to wake up and sit on my phone and be lazy. That's what we do on Saturday and Sunday, right? It's the weekend. You're like, why am I getting up and running off and doing a YouTube stream? But I'm here. I'm live. We're talking about what happened yesterday at the box office. We start with X movie, a movie that I love. X movie is by far, and by the way, that's the hashtag. It's just X. It's A24's X. It is the best film I've seen this year. It is gory. It has loads of sex. It's literally an X-rated film. I mean, it's so close to being one. But it is the best A24 film in quite some time. And this thing did, well, I guess. When you look at the number, 1.7 million doesn't sound like a lot. But at the end of the day, this weekend's going to be about 4.5 million, and more importantly, it's going to have legs, which we talk about on box office all the time. That means you're going to have extended play from this because it's only in theaters, because word of mouth is very strong. Last night, I went up to Burbank 16, down the street, my home theater, and it was packed. Now, one thing about Burbank and LA in specific, in particular, is that we have a huge number of film fans here. As you can imagine, this is not my hometown of Columbus, Ohio. This is not Houston, Texas. Although I bet Houston actually is pretty good. This is not Indianapolis. This is a very niche film crowd kind of thing here in LA. So a film like X is going to sell out at the Burbank 16. Conversely, it might not do as big a numbers in Dayton, Ohio, right? That's just how it's going to go. It's going to play well in New York, LA, but this is a film really, a lot of A24 films don't work well outside of the coast, outside of the centers for cinephiles. But this film does. This is a film that does work. And I think when people come to see it, wherever you are, in Florida, Arkansas, Texas, Indiana, wherever, you're going to see a film that delivers exactly what you want. It is a true horror film and done so well, so stylistically by Ty West. I love the film, and at 4.5 million, it's not bad. I mean, the budget's obviously very low here, so you have an opportunity over the next few weeks to keep people coming in, because again, how often do we talk about this during these streams? Theatrical exclusivity is everything when it comes to a film and performing at the box office, as we see with The Batman here in weekend number 3. It's going to drop about 45%. The total's at almost 280 million right now, domestic. Let's be honest with each other right now. We thought this film would do a little bit better. I'm not suggesting it's a bad number. I'm not saying that this is a failure by any means, but at 280 million, after now coming up on, weekend number 3, but 2 full weeks plus 3 weekends, I really thought we'd be past 300 right now. We're at 280. We'll probably be close to 300 on Sunday, Monday for sure. So this is certainly working for them. But I'll tell you what is happening. Here's why this film is not popping like we expect it to, as far as a No Way Home. We've talked about it over and over, and we're doing it again here. Number one, it is not family friendly. Okay, it is not for small children. It is not an MCU film where you can take the whole family. That is number one. That is huge. If that is the case with the Batman, this thing is way over 300 right now. It might be pushing 400. That's how important families are in 4-quad films. 4-quad films, as we discuss, means everybody in the pie, the movie-going pie, is available to go to the movie. They're going to go see it. That's not the case with the Batman. You're looking at really a 3-quad-ish, kind of situation, maybe even a little bit less. Because again, when you take families out, it's a lot of people that you remove from the marketplace. But number two is that it is 3 hours long. Again, I've got to say it because I sat through it for the second time the other day. Finally, I saw it for a second time, and it is great. There's no question the film is stylistically really in my wheelhouse, but that runtime is a problem. It just is. It is for repeat viewings. I saw a movie last night which was really bad. I mean, it is a bad film for March. It's a bad film for September. It's a bad film, period. It is The Outfit. It is a Quentin Tarantino wannabe, thinks it's smarter than it is. Some of the performances are just bad. and the score is all just throughout the whole thing. It's just poor movie making. And this director, young director, first film, has a lot to learn. Okay, has a lot to learn about the style and the art of filmmaking. The Outfit is not a good film. And what's interesting is when you watch The Outfit and you see X the same week. So you watch X, then you go see The Outfit. You see the difference in director ability, in the ability and talent of the person who's calling the shots, making the film. And the difference between X and The Outfit, just from a stylistic, directorial standpoint, night and day. And that's why I love a movie like X, and that's why The Outfit is completely forgettable, because the direction on X is just through the roof, and The Outfit is literally movie of the week, if not less. So really a misfire for Focus. I can't believe it's sitting at 92%. It's at 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, The Outfit. Go see that movie if you have A-list. I would never recommend you spend money to see that movie. If you have A-list, like I do, go, make it one of your 3 movies for the week and go see The Outfit. You're going to come out of that going, what? Man, that's just not very good. Let's pull some comments up here, but really, and also the anime movie, Jujutsu Kaisen, it hit almost, about 9 million, which is huge, right, for anime? Anime has repeatedly shown it can do numbers at the box office, and that is, for those of you who are into it, I get it. It's not everybody. It's not the entire marketplace. But for a film like that to pop at 9, and then for the weekend, obviously in the 20s somewhere, that's a really strong number for an anime film. I wish Bell were able to do better than it did. Bell was just one of my favorite. It was absolutely my favorite animated film of the year last year. Mitchell's and Machines, number 2. But Bell, I love both, but Bell is just next level. It is an animated masterpiece. If you have not seen Bell, find it. It should be. I imagine it's coming on streaming here soon. So Chris Gore, I want a big shout out to Chris. He was texting me about 8:45 when I said I was going to start this live stream. I said, "Why aren't you on?" Because I'm still in bed. I'm taking my time. Let me just digest my breakfast and hang out. But now we're here. So Chris, thank you for saying get up on the YouTube, and I am. I think Chris said he's going to see it again this weekend, which is like, how many times have you seen it now? 3 times? I've seen it twice. I don't think I need to see it a 3rd time. I don't. I think my notes on the film were really simple. I sent it out in a tweet yesterday. Here it is. Everyone's seen the film, so we can talk about this with spoilers. The film really needs to end on Batman, on Pattinson's speech about enduring, about strength, right? And then boom, movie over. And then we go straight to the jailhouse with Riddler and Joker. And it doesn't fit there. That scene really does not work there. So first thing you have to do is you have to take that scene and pull it out. It's gone. Extract that scene and put it on the side, right? If we're doing editing, just slide it to the side. And then you've got Batman and Catwoman on the motorcycles, which is fine if you want to keep that. I personally don't need to see that, but if you want to have closure there, I understand. But you still need to condense that scene. That scene is too long. Them riding the motorcycles off. There's a way to tighten that up. I think the whole film in general, there's a way to tighten the screws on this film and essentially end up with the same film and have it run even tighter, smoother, and better. I love Matt Reeves. Don't get me wrong. Love the guy. I want to see his next movie like yesterday. Hopefully it's not just Batman 2, it's many other things. But this is a film that needed to be tightened up. That Joker scene, Riddler scene, needs to be put into the mid-credits. As I'm sitting there watching the credits, right, they go through the main people, you go through director, and you go through written by, produced by, and then, of course, the stars, and then, boom, here comes Joker, Riddler. That works better. And here's why I wonder if Warner Brothers came in there and said, listen, you got to put the scene in. I don't know if Matt even wanted to do it. But I really am curious if Reeves thought that wanted to make a film that is inclusive, all-inclusive. He didn't want to put anything in the mid-credits. I think that's a mistake. I think that needs to be in the mid-credits. So that was my take on that. Feel free to comment here or certainly on the Twitter thread. A lot of people have. A lot of people agree. Some people love the Catwoman and Batman scene at the end on the motorcycles. And they want to keep it. But I think everyone agrees the Joker Riddler scene needs to be moved to the mid credits or somewhere else than where it is. It doesn't work right where it is. Okay, and yeah, X was going to be JT. Yeah, it was going to be a limited release, and then A24 said let's go wide, and they're paying. They're going to get paid for that because it's going to make 4.5. So I'm glad that they went wide with it. I know 4.5 doesn't sound like a lot. 4.5 million is not okay. It's not 260 million on an opening weekend. But again, this is a very small horror film from an art house distributor, A24. And their fans are rabid, certainly on the coast, here in LA. Last night it was sold out, the screening at 7 o'clock. Not in mind for the outfit. Thank God it wasn't sold out. I feel bad if that place was sold out. Those people got ripped off. But X, on the other hand, was completely sold out. And that happens here in LA. But I'm glad as well, because A24, one thing we also need to talk about with A24, they are all about theatrical. So when they give you a film, they're only going to put it in theaters. And that's something we need to keep. You know how I feel about that. These are our cathedrals. This is holy ground we're talking about. We need to have studios that only deal with theatrical, and A24 is one of those. So that makes certainly makes it easier for them. They can just put everybody into one spot. You don't have to worry about the other stuff. Then you can release it on streaming. But again, that is just all about them being about theatrical, and we should be happy about that. Lost City's coming out next week. You know, I'm going to see it. By the way, if you have A-List tonight, they have screenings of The Lost City. I grabbed one for tonight, 7 o'clock, down the street, Burbank 16. And I think wherever you are, they're having these nationwide. So if you want to go see Lost City, I've talked to a bunch of people who have seen it, said it's really fun. Channing Tatum, Sandra Bullock, Brad Pitt. You've seen the trailer, romance novel, kind of, Romancing the Stone thing going on. It looks like a good time. Plus, it's tight. It's like 135. That always works for me. I'm going to see The Lost City tonight. Go see it if you can. There are previous screenings also all next week. And I'm with you, JT. I want to see the movie. It's one of these that are going to work at exactly what it's trying to do. And those are the films that grade highly for me. When the film is designed to be a silly rom-com, adventure rom-com, like I said, Romancing the Stone, then it's going to grade high. As long as it's within those parameters and it really works and the jokes are funny and all those things, it's going to get a high grade, just like X did. Whatever the film's trying to do, if it accomplishes that, then that is going to end up with a high grade. You're not going to rate the Lost City in X. They're two completely different art forms. Okay, so you can't grade them the same way. You have to look at what they're trying to do and then does it accomplish that? Sonic 2, same thing. Is it a solid family movie? Is it better than the first? It's all those things. You don't grade every film the same way. It's basic stuff. So let's see. One more thing about Batman. I'm sacrificing family friendly for this style of Batman. I'm with you. Listen, I love what Warner Brothers let him do here. Matt Reeves. They allowed him to make the film he wanted to make. I've said it 5 million times. Here's 5 million and one. Is that when you watch Let Me In, the vampire remake from 2010 of Let the Right One In, you see Matt Reeves and what he brings to the screen, and you see it here. Same cinematographer, Greg Fraser, same director, Matt Reeves. They let him make his Batman movie. So I am too. I think at this point, though, I really believe that Warner Brothers has had discussions about maybe we should have made this R. I don't think the numbers are that different if it is R, because we're sitting at 280 million. Joker obviously didn't do quite that well. I mean, they tapped out domestically at 300 million. But either way, I think that you maybe could have gotten to an R rating, because the parents that take their kids to see this movie, they would have taken them at R. They'd say, come on, you can come in. I know you're under 17, but I'm saying you can come see it. I don't think the numbers are that different. But I'm with you, Rob. That is good. We need to allow these filmmakers to make the film they want to make, and the studios don't often do that, and they did here. Warner Brothers did. So again, kudos to Warner Brothers for doing that, because that is really what we need. We need more studios stepping up and saying, go ahead and make the movie that you make. Ian, jumping in here as we get ready to wrap this thing. After Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad, I could see why they shied away from R. Yes, Batman. Yeah, exactly. I see why. I understand. It's like you can't make an R-rated Batman movie. I understand that, but I do think that the numbers would have been similar. I'm not saying it's exactly the same, but I think we're similar in perhaps we bring in even more eyes because they're like, it's an R-rated Batman. I want to see it, which is what we got with Joker. Granted, that tapped out at 300 million. Batman's coming up on 300 million. So I understand Warner Brothers not wanting to do the R, just throwing it out there. So yeah, no question. Birds of Prey was a complete misfire, and that did not work, and certainly the Suicide Squad. But I will say this about the Suicide Squad. The reason that didn't work was a number of reasons, but really the big one was it was day date on HBO Max. Anytime you put a movie at home and in theaters, people are going to watch it at home. Always and forever. That's never going to change. We'll do another one of these tomorrow. We get the numbers for the weekend. Thanks for watching. I'll have some Lost City thoughts coming up tomorrow as well. And don't forget, if you want to see that movie, it is available tonight on your A-list, wherever you live. Go to your local AMC movie and go see this. I think it's going to be a fun film, Lost City. We'll talk again tomorrow. Thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe. Appreciate it, guys. Talk soon. Thank you. Goodbye.